Good day, everybody. Welcome to Rise Marks module training. In this video, we will cover the Marks module and all of the functions and features that it has. In order to access the Marks module, you'll have to make your way onto the school section and find the heading that says Marks. Underneath the heading, you can find all of the tools that are relevant to the Marks module. The first place to start would be with the terms. In the terms section, we can then specify what terms our school uses. In most cases, it'll be term 1 till 4, and in special cases, it could be 3 or even 2. Once you are done with that, the next step would be to classify your mark types. For that, I would click on Mark Types. As you can see, we do have a few examples that are already present in our system, but for this case, I will create a new one. So in order to do that, I will click on Create, add a description. In our case, we will make it Final Exam. We will then make it for term 4, make our order 4, so it appears in the 4th column of our progress report, and then we'll click on Save and Close. As we can see, it has now been added to our list in the Mark Types section. Next up, I will go back into the main menu. So I'll click on School and then create Mark Max Points. For this, I will click on the heading and then click on Create. I will add a grade. In our case, we'll add it for grade 2. The subject will then be Maths, and mark type, we will make that Final Exam. And for this, we'll make our Mark Max Points out of 50. And then click Save and Close. As we can see, that has also been added to our list, and the Mark Max Points will be 50 points. Once completed with that, I will navigate back to the main menu, and I will click on Mark Sheet. For Mark Sheet, I will then click on Create, make the subject Maths, the mark type Final Exam, the grade 2. And if I click on Fill, it'll pull up my entire grade 2 list. But in this case, I'm just going to add one student. So we shall add Anik. We can then make the total. So in his case, he got 33 out of 50. And as we can see, that then converted to a percentage of 66%. If I'm happy with the marks, I can then click on Post and Close. As we can see, the mark sheet has now been posted. Alternatively, we do have other tools that you may use when doing a mark sheet, such as algorithms. So to create an algorithm, you can click on Algorithm, click on Create, and then you can type in your algorithm. So you can click on Edit, and if we would like to calculate it differently, for this example, we'll say exam 1, and then type in a plus FAT1, and then we can actually put those in a bracket. And then we can say divided by 2 to ensure that we get the average, and click OK. We can then give this a code. And if we want to include that in our calculations, then we will go to Evaluation. We can click on Create and then select our algorithm. So we can then click Show All, and we can see our recently created algorithm, and you can enter your marks here like you would do in Mark Sheet. Another feature we have is the symbols or the achievement level. So if we click on that, we can then specify all of our achievements, the symbols, and the minimum percentage that you will require in an exam in order to meet those achievements. So once we are done with that, we can then run a progress report. In order to run a progress report, you'd click on Progress Report and click on Create. For our case, we're not going to run for a grade or a class, but we are going to run it for every term, and we're going to run it for our student, Anik. I will then click on the checkbox. If the student does have a mailing address, the mailing address will appear here. This will let you know that once the progress report is generated, you can then email it to that specific parent on that email address. Alternatively, you can send the progress report via the Rise Communicator app. I can also add in any remarks that I would like to add, and once I'm done, I will click on Generate. From here, we can then navigate all the way down to today's date, where we can see Annex Report. From here, I can then choose whether I would like to email or print the report. That is all for the Marks module. It's a relatively simple yet effective system that you can use to store, run, or even print progress reports.